Hi, I'm Nora. That right there is Alexandria. This is Egypt in August of 30 BC Quer. And I need you to understand something before we go any further. This is the last night of an entire civilization. Tomorrow, everything changes. Cleopatra VII, the last pharaoh of Egypt, dies. I don't know how. I'm not asking questions. We're going. If you're new here, subscribe right now. Seriously, this one is not like the others. This one I haven't stopped thinking about since I got back. Okay, so first things first. I have been sleeping in a room that is somehow both incredibly old and incredibly beautiful, which is a combination I was not prepared for. The walls are painted man, rich ochre, deep blue, these papyrus reeds that someone drew with a steadiness of hand I will never possess. The bed is a low wooden frame with linen stretched across it. It smells like cedar and something floral I can't identify. I have slept in worse places. I have also slept in better places. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 and move on. The bathroom situation, tata, okay, I did my research, so I was not completely blindsided. But nothing fully prepares you for a ceramic pot in a corner with a linen curtain and zero further explanation. Romans at least had company. Egyptians apparently value privacy. Respect. Outfit check. I am wearing a linen sheath dress that ties at the shoulder, and I have been given a wide beaded collar that sits across my chest and genuinely makes me feel like I could run a country. The kohl around my eyes took me 20 minutes, and the result is unhinged in the best way. I look insane. I look incredible. I look like an insane, incredible person. Let's go. So this is Alexandria, and I don't think I was ready for it. Like a burg, I had seen illustrations, I had read descriptions, I was not ready. This city is enormous and loud, and it smells like salt water and spices and animal and smoke all at the same time. And instead of being disgusting, it's somehow just alive. Alive. Everything is alive here. The streets are wide farning, wider than I expected. There are columns everywhere, white stone, painted detail at the top. Market stalls are already open even though the sun just came up, and people are selling figs, bread, oil, fabric, live geese. A goose just made eye contact with me in a way that felt threatening. So one thing I did not know, Tvet, Alexandria in 30 BC is actually a deeply Greek city. Cleopatra's family, the Ptolemies, were Macedonian Greek. They ruled Egypt for nearly 300 years, but Alexandria was always kind of its own thing, this hybrid, cosmopolitan, slightly chaotic port city, where Egyptians and Greeks and Jews and Romans all just coexisted. There's graffiti in 3 different languages on the wall next to me right now. Honestly, very relatable energy. I need food before I face anything else. Okay, so I found a bread stall near the harbor, and I want to report that ancient Egyptian bread is genuinely good, but with one asterisk. The grain they use is ground on stone, and apparently small particles of sand and grit end up in the flour. And I am now chewing something that is both delicious and slightly concerning for my teeth. Okay, so I just tried some of this bread. The woman selling it gave me a look that said she has had this conversation before. Dipping it in olive oil and something that might be honey fixes everything. 8 out of 10. Would eat again if I wasn't worried about my molars. So I came to the harbor because the Great Library of Alexandria is nearby, and look, I'm a nerd. We knew this, I'm a nerd. The library itself doesn't look like one building. It's a complex, agreeing. Connected spaces, colonnaded walkways, scholars just sitting in the shade with scrolls on their laps, like it's completely normal. Yeah. Which here, apparently, it is. I stood at the entrance for longer than I should have, and a man walked past me carrying what I'm pretty sure was a scroll of Euclid's Elements, and I nearly cried. A scholar near the entrance pauses and looks at me.
You look lost.
He said it like a fact. Not sad, not dramatic, just a fact. And he went back to reading. Oh, it's Val. No, I'm just looking. This is incredible. I had to keep walking after that. Okay, Tef, real quick, before I tell you what happens at the palace, subscribe if you haven't.
I promise the second half of this is the part I cannot stop thinking about. It takes literally 1 second. Okay, back to it.
So here's what I know going into tonight. It's August 10th, 30 BC.
Octavian, of soon-to-be Augustus Caesar comment, has already taken Egypt. His forces entered Alexandria weeks ago.
Antony is dead. He died about a week ago after a botched suicide, right here in this city. Cleopatra has been under a kind of house arrest in her mausoleum, negotiating, stalling. Tomorrow, history says she dies. An asp ran, supposedly. Though historians have been arguing about that detail for 2,000 years. And honestly, same.
I have been invited, and I'm still not entirely sure how this happened, Aud, to a private dinner.
Not a grand public feast. Something smaller, quieter. The last dinner. I need a moment. I need to just stand outside these palace gates for a second. The royal quarter sits right on the harbor. The building is more Greek than I expected from the outside. Columns, marble steps. But once you're through the gates, the Egyptian detail takes over. Gold everywhere. Not like decorative gold. Gold as a material choice for everything, as a philosophical position.
The floors are polished stone that reflects the lamplight, and I can see myself walking and I look terrified.
A steward leads me through 2 corridors and into a room that opens onto a terrace facing the sea. She is already there. Okay. I have to be honest with you. I don't have words for this. I have been to some places and met some people, and I have never felt the specific gravity of a room the way I felt it walking out onto that terrace.
She's wearing white linen with a gold pectoral collar, and her dark hair is pulled back.
She's not performing, she's just sitting. She looks tired in the way that has nothing to do with sleep. She turns and looks at me. I was told you were curious about Egypt. I was. Yes, more than I can say.
Then sit and eat something. Curiosity is no good on an empty stomach.
The table is low. We are reclining on cushioned couches. So here is what dinner with Cleopatra actually looks like, and I want to be very precise because I feel like I owe you that. I sit. Everything comes in small courses. Roasted duck with a sauce that tastes like pomegranate and something acidic I can't identify. Flatbread with a seed crust, a cold fish preparation with herbs, sliced melon, dates stuffed with almond paste. There is wine that tastes like it has been watered down, which apparently is the civilized way to drink wine in the ancient world, and I respect that. I eat everything. This is the best meal I have had on any of these trips. And I want to be clear that I am saying that knowing I have eaten in ancient Rome and on the Titanic.
She notices me eating enthusiastically. You eat like someone who hasn't tasted good food in a while.
And then, because I am me, I ask something I probably shouldn't. I say, "Do you know what's coming?" She's quiet for a moment. She looks back at the harbor.
There are lights on the water, ships, lamps, the reflection of the city. Alexandria at night from this terrace is almost too beautiful.
Everyone knows what is coming. Knowing it doesn't move it. I don't say anything. I don't say anything. I don't know what to say.
He wants me for his triumph, she says. The procession in Rome. In chains. He wants Egypt to walk behind him in the street.
And then very quietly, that will not happen.
I understood, sitting on that terrace, exactly what she meant. And I didn't try to talk her out of it. It wasn't my place. It wasn't anyone's place. She had already decided, and the decision was, in its own devastating way, completely hers. The one thing left. That was. The sound is clean and quiet, and it carries out over the water. She asks me, "Where are you from?" I say, "Far away."
Farther than Rome?
Much farther.
I laughed at that.
She almost smiled. I left before midnight. The steward walked me back through the corridors with the golden floors and the reflected lamplight.
Good, she says. Rome has taken enough from this room already.
I don't know why. She wasn't watching me go. The city around me on the walk back was quiet, in the way that cities go quiet after something dread. Peaceful, just suspended. Like Alexandria already knew and was holding its breath.
I have documented a lot of things. I've stood on decks while ships went down,
and walked through forums while empires were at their peak, and eaten food I couldn't identify in places that didn't have words for the things I came from.
But I keep coming back to that terrace, the music on the water, her voice saying that will not happen with a calm that had no fear in it.
Just certainty. Just a woman who had outlasted everything she could outrun, deciding, finally, on her own terms.
History calls tomorrow her ending. I think she'd say it was her choice.
And there's a difference. There's a real difference